welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. This is Richard. So what we have is a piece of this, I don't know, what do you call it? Pleather? It's from a couch. And what I did was, quickly, because I didn't film it, I just simply took a 22-inch by a 22-inch triangle. 22-inch triangle leading up to the top 22 inches, thereabouts. Now, from that, I took and made a circle, and got it wet, and made a circle at the top on each sides. And then what I did was I measured down 5 inches from the tip of the triangle and cut out 3 more shapes for the tips, and they're going to get sewn right here on each one of them. Now, not just sewn, but I'm going to use a hole punch, and I'm going to punch holes around those. One second. Found a little more water. Alright. But I'm going to use these little grommets and make little rings using this tool here. Let's see, what rings do we want to use? I think these will work just like this. So each one of these little rings will get placed in one of the holes that I'm about ready to make, and then this tool here will crimp it down, and it'll make a nice little metal ring on the seat cover that will help protect it from. So those little rings will create these two pieces being one piece, and it'll give a nice little decorative outside to it. So let's go ahead and let's just begin by selecting what size of hole I want, and from the size of hole I'm going to try to see what we got here. I think that's pretty close right there. Alright, so the largest hole that we have on this leather punch, so we'll go ahead and stick it on there. And make a hole. There we go. So that will make a hole, as we see right here. And once we do that, I'll show you what we got here. We're going to go ahead and take one of these eyelets. Let's see, let's go from the what's going to be the top. We'll stick one of those eyelets in there just like that. And then we are going to clamp it down. Just like so. And it'll make a nice little connection right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that with this whole thing here. Let's continue to make the holes. And before we do that, I think I need to trim this just a tad bit. Trim that up just a bit. Go ahead and hole. Alright, there's the holes. Go ahead and put our little metal piece in there. And then we secure it. There we go. And that locks it down. Let's do it one at the top here. There we go. I have to peel back a little bit of the there we are. Good. Smash-a-rooney. Alright, and we're going to continue to do this to the, not only this piece, but also to the others. Just like so. We're going to set it in there. Just like that. Set our piece on there. And then we smash it. Just like that. We're going to continue to do that until we get it done, and I'll get right back with you. I've also decided, because of the way this is being punched, it doesn't seem to really be working well. These things, these grommets aren't really taking hold on this. They look okay as decoration, but they're definitely not going to do the purpose on this cloth that I want them to do. So I'm going to sew. I got my #1 kit, my sewing kit out, and I'm actually going to sew stitches into this. And I think I'm just going to do a little whip stitch around the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and whip stitch it. And the other ones I will whip stitch before I put those pieces in. But I'll still put the pieces in as kind of a decoration. Because they're definitely not holding. Yeah, see, they're definitely not holding. They're just popping out. They're not really doing anything. So we'll go ahead and whip stitch this whole thing. Before I put any grommets in as basically decorations at this point. So just go to the edge, stick it through both of them, and then when I make the loop, I run the line through the loop and pull it down. That's the stitch I'm going to use. Okay, yeah, I guess this isn't technically a whip stitch. A whip stitch just goes around and around and around, and that's it. But I have no idea what this stitch is called. That's just my basic normal stitch that I use, and that's what it's going to be. So we'll go ahead and do this throughout this whole process. As you can see right there, it stitches it up. We'll go ahead and take care of that, and then I'll get back with you guys. Alright, fantastic. So this time it's been sewn, and then we'll put the little clips in there just for decoration, but there we go. Now this isn't going to be fantastic. The cloth that I'm using is not, yeah, let's see, that keeps, those holes keep popping out. Yeah, these rivets keep popping out of there. I'm not even going to put any more in there. That's a waste. It's just gonna pop out at willy-nilly. Look at that. So anyway, we're not even going to pop any rivets into the other side. We're just simply going to, yeah, they're just popping right out. They did absolutely nothing. So we're going to go ahead and sew the other sides up. This is just for experimentation and figuring out how to make it work, and making sure it does work. And once I get actual confirmation that this actually works as a seat, I can make it with better leather. I was going to use actual leather in the first place, but it wasn't quite big enough to get the size that the pattern called for. So we're going to go ahead and see how this works, and once we get this sewn, I will show you how the seat works, and we'll see if this little pleathery stuff will even work. If not, we'll see how it looks if it was made from like actual leather that's actually going to work well. So if the idea behind it is sound, even though the material may not work, I've got material that will work. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the other two, and I'll get right back with you. Well, I've got side 2 on. Side 2 is on, and it looks decent. Again, I'm not 100% sure how well this stuff is going to hold up to being pressured and pulled. I have decided that those grommets are not going to do well, and they're not, see, they just pull right out. They're not going to stay on, so there's no reason to even place them in there for decoration, because they're not going to work. So we're going to go ahead. This one actually got a stitch through it. There we go. We're going to go ahead and do the third side, and we'll do our little field test and see if this actually works as a decent seat. And if it works well, I'm going to have to remake it, but remake it with actual real leather. I just do not see this holding up to pressure in here. I don't see this really working well as far as that goes, but we will see how it works, at least for the experiment. So let me get this sewn up, and I'll get right back with you. And there we go. So we got all 3 of them sewn just like this, and it makes a nice little pouch on each end. Now this one here, I did attempt to put grommets on it, but this pleathery cloth is not good for that. Then I have this 6-foot staff here that have copper ends that screw and unscrew, and I do not have a video on me making this, but I made this, at least 8-10 years ago. Anyway, there's three sticks that go together to create a 6-foot staff. Now, I need some sort of ring or tie to actually put in here to create a nice stable base, just like such. And we are going to find something. I'm not sure what. It may be a wire coat hanger. I'm not 100% sure. Just make a ring out of a wire coat hanger and use that. Anyway, we'll figure something out, and I'll get right back with you. Alright, I went back to the Bentley bunker, and I grabbed a wire hanger. No more wire hangers. Anyway, so anyway, I'm going to unravel. There we go. And I got me a decent piece of wire. Let's see, what do I need? What size do I need? Basically big enough to go around these 3 like this with a little space. so we cut it about right here. Alright, so we're going to cut it and then make a little bit of a loop. And I'm not going to do that on camera because right now I don't know how I'm going to get it cut or what I'm going to use or whether I can find those bolt cutters. Oh, I got to remember those big bolt cutters. Oh, I'll be right back. Alright, I couldn't find the bolt cutters, so I had to get my Dremel out. And I went ahead and cut the metal wire. This is the piece that I was originally going to use. It's nice and sturdy and very thick. And I still may use this to make a smaller one, but it's definitely not big enough to make the size that I did with this pleathery stuff because I measured it and it just didn't work. So anyway, let's make a ring out of this, and I'm going to need a pair of pliers. Alright, so I got back into my Dremel case and got my pliers. And we are going to fix this up in some manner. There's that. Let's tip this. There we go. Yeah, that'll work for now. This is just an experiment anyways, just to see how well that it works. Make a ring out of this, and hopefully, I hope that it actually works. So this is go this way, this go this way, this goes this way, this goes this way. So, and we're gonna set it down on the ground. Oh, that ring is too big. So the ring is a little too big. So all I'm gonna do is just figure out what size I need the ring and just keep bending this hook just like this until I get the ring the size that I need. And when I do that, I'll get back with you. You don't need to sit here for 10 minutes watching me doodle with this thing. Alright, so I finally got it. It only took me one more time. So this will fit over one, this will fit over one, and then this will fit over one, just like this. And then we can adjust it. And yeah, that's way too big. I knew that was going to be too big. That's way too big. I need to shorten that up by a lot. That needs to be shortened up to about right. Oh yeah, that's way too big. This seat is way too big. I knew it was when I saw the dimensions on it. I just knew it. So yeah, when I saw the dimensions on that, I just knew that it was too big. But I did it anyway because that's what it was designed as, and I knew it was too big. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and fiddle with this a little bit, and I'm gonna see if maybe I can get it to work. But if not, we're gonna shrink this down to several inches. So I'll get right back. So I fiddled with it a little bit, and I got it to actually stretch and work. I really don't think this is going to be a decent seat. One, to me it's too big, and two, this pleathery stuff just isn't going to work. But I'm going to sit in it, so if I fall on my butt, you guys will get some good video of that. So let's readjust here. Maybe we can get it. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, that obviously isn't gonna work. Two things. One is this this needs to be a much more secure and durable ring, which I can fix that, no problem. Two, this is just, gosh darn it, it's too big. This is just way too big. That 22-inch pattern is no. I am not going to throw this out quite yet. This is not working though. This right here, this pleathery stuff that I got off of the back of a couch, that's a no-go. I am going to have to use some decent leather. This right here will hold. I just need to decide what size I want to make it. So I'm going to use this and just keep shrinking it down until I get exactly what I'm looking for. Now, the problem is I'm going to end up cutting these loops back here off, which is fine. At this point, I think I'm going to, let's see, it was originally 22 inches until now it's 20 inches. I think I'm going to shave off 3 inches on either side. And this is going to end up to be maybe 14 or 15 inches. Let's try 15 inches and see how that works. Let's see here. Let's find out whether or not I can even get a 15-inch triangle on this piece of cloth I've got left here. I'm pretty sure I should be able to. Oh yeah. So this is, let's see if I can get my, ooh, just 15 inches. I mean, just, 15 inches perfectly. Excellent. So I say that I was destined to make a 15-inch seat, because this piece that I wanted to use in the first place is exactly that. And if I would have just listened to what this piece of cloth was telling me in the first place, then it would have been just fine. So let's see here. This is about halfway. Mark a little mark here. And we're going to go up. Excellent. And this, I eyeball everything. I don't really measure much at all anymore. I just freaking eyeball stuff. So let's say let's see, 4.5 inches off here. That makes it 13, so let's add 2 more inches. So we're going an inch back this direction, an inch back this direction. There's my 15. And then we'll go to the center here. And we'll say that is a decent angle. Alrighty, so we're good to go. I'm going to make my triangle. I'm going to do all this all over. I'm going to go ahead and find a spot that's actually going to give me a straight line. There we go. And when measured, that should be, oh, I'm sorry, there we go. I was a 1/2 inch off, and the reason I was a 1/2 inch off because I went a 1/2 inch, didn't go a 1/2 inch far enough on that side. There we go. And then we will take our angle here, and we will make a line. We will take our angle here, make a line, and then let's get a cup. Let's see if this is wet. Don't want to do that again. There we go. Let's see if we can, yeah, that'll work. So then I just take a cup and I put it at the end of the triangle where they connect both sides, and I put a little mark to make a circle. So I make a circle here, here, and up at at the top, just like so. That's a much smaller seat. That's a much smaller seat. Then we're going to cut that out. When I cut it out, I'll get right back with you.